Let's get one thing clear. You were never an accident. Not one molecule in you is a mistake. When I created you, I didn't rush. I didn't recycle. I didn't guess. I formed you. Not with leftover pieces. Not with scraps from other creatures, but with my own breath. I reached into the dust, not because I had to, but because I wanted to. And when my hands touched the earth, it responded. It didn't resist me. It yielded, because even the dirt knew it was about to hold something holy. You are not random. You are not common. You are not forgettable. You are my design, handcrafted, heaven authorized, purpose marked. Before your father named you, I already saw you. Before your mother carried you, I already chose you. Before time had a name, you had my image pressed into your soul. And no matter what this world has told you, you are not weak. You are not too far gone. You are not too late to become what I envisioned. I didn't breathe into animals. I didn't breathe into oceans. But I breathed into you. I didn't create you to blend in. I created you to walk with me, to carry my authority, to reflect my glory. You've been looking for identity in achievements, in people, in opinions. But I already gave it to you when I looked at dust and said, let's make him like us. You are not just alive. You were awakened, not just born, but released. Not just a man, but a mirror of heaven. So if you've forgotten who you are, let me remind you, I didn't wave a hand. I didn't speak from a distance. I got low. I knelt down into dirt. And with my own fingers, I drew your future. I wasn't building a body. I was birthing a purpose. Every curve of your hand, designed to hold responsibility. Every line on your face, marked by my intention. Every breath in your lungs, borrowed from mine. You weren't made of marble. You were made of mud and majesty, because I knew you'd need both. You'd need the humility of dust, to remind you who you are without me, and you'd need the fire of divinity, to remind you what happens when I'm inside of you. When I formed you, heaven paused. The angels watched in silence, because I wasn't just making a creation, I was making a carrier of my glory. So don't let the dust shame you. Don't let your origin make you think you're weak. Even in the dirt, I saw destiny, because when I touched the ground, I saw you. And I said, that one's mine. You think because I made you after everything else, you were an afterthought? No, you were the final stroke, the finishing touch, the crown of creation. I didn't create you last because you were least. I created you last because I was setting the stage. I made the light before I made your eyes, so you could see. I made the oceans before I made your lungs, so you could breathe clean air. I made the trees before I made your hunger, so you'd never lack. I wasn't just designing a world, I was preparing a home. I built every blade of grass with you in mind. Every star, every stream, every sunrise. It was all for you. You weren't made to wander. You were made to rule, not in pride, but in partnership. Not as a god, but as a son. When I handed you Eden, I didn't say survive. I said subdue. I didn't say try your best. I said take dominion, because I made you to walk tall, not shrink back. To steward, not just exist. To lead, not to follow your flesh. And yet, how quickly you've forgotten who you are. You let culture redefine what I already declared. You let people who don't know me tell you who you are to me. But I'm still the one who formed you. I'm still the one who gave you dominion. And I'm still the one calling you back to walk in it. You were not made to beg this world for scraps. You were made to carry heaven's authority on earth. You weren't made last. You were made after, because I saved the best for last. I didn't just create you to be alive. I created you to resemble me, not in body, not in color, but in essence. When I made the stars, I gave them brilliance. When I made the oceans, I gave them depth. But when I made you, I gave you me, my image, my spirit, my nature. You weren't made to act like animals. You were made to carry eternity in your chest. You were made to choose, because I choose. You were made to love, because I love. You were made to speak, because I speak life. And don't let them lie to you. You didn't evolve from beasts. You were breathed from glory. Look at what I gave you: a mind that creates, a soul that feels, a heart that breaks with compassion. That's not biology. That's divine design. You bear my fingerprints in your spirit. You reflect my heart in your compassion. You echo my authority in your words. So why live like a copy when I made you in my image? You keep asking me, God, what's my purpose? But I already answered it in Genesis. Be fruitful, multiply, subdue, reflect me, walk with me. That's not just identity, that's inheritance. I didn't just give you life, I gave you a legacy of divinity. Now walk like it. Before shame, before fear, before hiding behind fig leaves and fragile excuses, I walked with you. I wasn't a faraway God. I didn't shout from the clouds or hide behind thunder. I was near, closer than your next breath. In the cool of the day, I came, not to inspect, but to be with you. Not to correct, but to commune. Not to test, but to walk, face to face, heart to heart. I didn't create you to worship me from a distance. I created you for fellowship, not rituals, not religion, relationship. But you forgot. You chose the voice of the serpent over the voice of your Father. You traded my presence for pride. And in that moment, something died. Not just your innocence, but our rhythm, our walk. And yet, even when you hid, I came looking. Adam, where are you? Not because I didn't know your location, but because I wanted you to know your distance. I didn't leave you. You left me. But even then, I didn't withdraw. I covered your shame. I clothed your nakedness. I made a promise that one day, a son would come and walk with you again. You were made for proximity, not performance. You were created to walk with me, not impress me. And I'm still calling men back to the garden, not Eden, but intimacy. You think manhood means standing alone, but real strength starts in surrender. Real masculinity starts in fellowship with your Creator. So stop running, stop hiding. Let's walk again. You sinned, but I didn't throw you away. You fell, but I didn't fold my hands and turn my back. Yes, I gave you dominion, and yes, you gave it away. But even then, I wasn't done with you. You disobeyed. You broke trust. You blamed her. She blamed the serpent, but I didn't blame. I planned. Right there in the wreckage of your rebellion, I spoke redemption. I said the seed of the woman will crush the serpent's head. I didn't cancel your future. I declared war on the enemy who deceived you, because love doesn't walk away when things get messy. And I am love. I could have started over. I could have wiped the world clean, but instead, I covered you. I made garments from sacrifice, because something had to bleed for your shame to be clothed. That was the first shadow of the cross, a whisper of the Lamb that would one day bleed not just to cover sin, but to conquer it. You fell, but I didn't walk away. I stepped in, because I'm not the kind of God who abandons sons, even when they fail. Yes, you chose the grave, but I chose to resurrect your story. You messed up, but grace speaks louder than guilt. And I'm not finished. Not then, not now. You weren't made soft. You weren't made passive. You weren't made to sit in silence while darkness steals, kills, and destroys. I put warrior blood in your veins, not to fight people, but to fight principalities. Not to harm, but to hold the line. Not to conquer for yourself, but to defend what's mine. You were born into a battlefield, not a playground. So stop living like peace is promised in a world at war. You were built to resist temptation, to rise in adversity, to guard your family in prayer, to war for purity, to fight for truth when compromise looks easier. This is not the time for men to shrink. This is the hour for men to stand. I gave you shoulders strong enough to carry burdens, a mind sharp enough to discern lies, and a heart bold enough to say, "As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." Do you think David was born ready? No. He was formed in the field. He didn't kill Goliath because he was tall. He killed him because he had my spirit. You have that same spirit. The lion didn't take you out. The bear didn't break you. So what makes you think the giant in front of you will be your end? Don't let this world tame the warrior I created. Don't let comfort silence the fight. And don't let fear stop what faith has already started. You were made to battle in prayer, in truth, in righteousness. Suit up, because I didn't call you to a couch. I called you to a cause. I gave you paradise, and you chose rebellion. I gave you beauty, and you let the serpent twist it into betrayal. I didn't ask for much, just obedience, just trust. But you let pride speak louder than my voice. You let deception plant seeds that still grow thorns in men today. And don't think it was just Adam. Every man since has repeated the same mistake, choosing what looks good over what is good, reaching for knowledge, while turning their back on wisdom. You chose the fruit. You chose control. You chose to be your own God. And with one bite, death entered the world. Not just physical death, but the slow, silent death of identity, purpose, communion. But listen closely. Even when you chose the grave, I didn't cancel the garden, because I don't erase what I planted. I restore it. Yes, Eden was sealed, but I opened another way, through thorns on his head, through sweat like blood, through a tree, not of knowledge, but of sacrifice. You lost the garden, but through Jesus, I'm leading you back to something greater. And this time, you won't walk alone. You'll walk redeemed, washed, covered, called, commissioned. You were made for Eden, but you were reborn for heaven. You keep asking, am I worth anything? You measure yourself by followers, paychecks, titles, and applause. But I never used numbers to define you. I used nails. Your value isn't tied to performance. It's tied to blood. The world said you had to earn it. I said, it is finished. Before you ever took your first breath, I already decided you were worth dying for. You think your mistakes changed my mind? No, I saw them, all of them. The lies, the lust, the pride, the failures, and I still sent my son, not reluctantly, not out of pity, but because love always pays the full price. Jesus didn't come just to inspire you. He came to ransom you. They didn't force him on that cross. He laid himself down, not for angels, not for stars, but for you. Do you want to know your worth? Don't look at your resume. Look at Calvary. Those weren't random nails. That wasn't just Roman cruelty. That was eternal currency, spent for your soul. You are not worthless. You are not replaceable. You are not forgotten. You were bought, not with silver or gold, but with something heaven treasures more, the blood of my son. So stop begging this world to validate you. It didn't make you, and it didn't die for you. I did. I didn't create you to drift. I created you to lead, not from pride, not from ego, but from obedience. Leadership isn't about being loud. It's about being faithful when no one claps. It's about carrying weight even when no one sees. It's about saying yes to my voice, even when others say no. But hear me clearly. I never called you to lead without me. Moses had a staff. David had a sling. Gideon had 300. But all of them had me. You're not supposed to lead from your strength. You're supposed to lead from my spirit. Real men don't dominate. They serve. They protect. They lay their lives down, like my son did. That's not weakness. That's kingdom leadership. And I've placed that mantle on you. Whether you're leading a family, a team, a generation, or just your own thoughts, do it with me. Don't carry what I never asked you to lift alone. Don't make decisions without asking for direction. I'm not just your creator. I'm your counselor. When I call you to lead, I promise to walk with you, step by step, fight by fight, glory to glory. So rise up, son, not to impress, but to impact. Not for applause, but for eternity. Because this world doesn't need more loud men. It needs led men. And I'm still looking for one who will say, "Here I am, Lord. Send me." You think I stopped forming men after Eden? No. I'm still shaping. still chiseling, still refining, but not always in the spotlight, not always on the stage. Sometimes, in the shadows. I build men in the fire, where pride is burned off and purity is born. I build men in the waiting rooms, where you learn to trust me when I'm quiet. I build men in the secret place, where no one sees you but me. You think your delay is a sign I've forgotten you. It's the opposite. Delay is proof that I'm doing something deeper. Before I send a man publicly, I test him privately. Before David held a crown, he held a harp. Before Joseph wore robes of authority, he wore chains in prison. Before Jesus walked into his calling, he was alone in the wilderness. Don't curse the silence. That's where I speak the clearest. Don't run from the pain. That's where I cut out what's killing you. I'm not building soft men. I'm building spirit-filled warriors who can't be bought by fame or broken by fear. If it feels like I'm breaking you, it's because I'm making you stronger. If it feels like no one sees you, it's because I'm teaching you to live for my eyes only. Let me finish what I started in you. Don't quit in the cave. Don't give up in the furnace. Don't walk away just before I open the next door, because I'm not done, and neither are you. You came from dust, but you were never meant to stay there. I shaped you with my hands. I filled you with my breath, and I placed eternity inside your chest. Yes, you are mortal. Yes, your body will return to the ground, but your spirit, it was made to rise. So don't waste your life chasing shadows. Don't live numb, distracted, afraid. You were made to rule, to love, to worship, to walk with me. The enemy tried to steal your identity. Religion tried to reduce your relationship to rituals. The world tried to distract you with temporary crowns. But my voice is still calling. Man of God, rise. Not to perform, but to return. Return to the fire. Return to the truth. Return to me. And when your time on earth ends, when your body gives out, and your soul steps across the veil, let it be said that you return to the dust, with glory in your spirit, because you lived like a man I made, because you walked in what I gave, because you reflected me, and now you return to me. Well done, son. You remembered who you are. You remembered who made you. Welcome home.